I previously spoke about, having to work hard in survival mode. And inside of that, I talked about hard work versus working hard. Again, hard work versus working hard. To me, working hard means going from job to job to job to job, no sleep, hustle culture, hustle mentality, what we've been built on. Oh, I'm working hard. I'm hustling hard in order for us to have some kind of balance in life or stability in life or to provide ourselves with things. This is what we've been taught. This is what we've been raised on. That versus being a hard worker. You know, you are hard working at a specific task. Now, the words can be interchangeable, so let's not get caught up on the exact words, but the thought and ideology is what I want you to hold on to. Again, the thought and ideology is what I want you to hold on to. Of busting your ass every day, day in and day night, every day, day and night for survival. That's what I want you to hold on to. That part right there, busting your ass, hustling hard, day and night for survival. Versus picking something that you're aligned with and going hard at that 1, 2, 3 things that you're aligned with. There's two complete different things. Two complete different things. And this is how I separate, working hard versus being a hard worker. Again, working hard versus being a hard worker. And so many times in our culture, in our community, in our society, we've been taught you have to be working hard. All day, all night, no matter what, working hard. And that's a lie. That's a complete lie. We don't have to do that no more. That's what drains us the most. That's what sucks the life out of us. Don't you see that chef lady who was working hard, working hard, working hard, working hard? Passed. Because I promise you, I bet she was in survival mode. She felt like she had to. She felt like she had to, work hard. It's overexhaustion of yourself. It's pushing yourself to the limits in order to survive. We don't have to do that no more. It's not worth it. Sometimes you got to sit back and ask yourself, why am I working so hard? If it's not for survival, why am I working so hard? And you'll see that, like I said, if it's not for survival, if it's not to support someone else, a lot of times we're doing it for the outside. A lot of times we're either doing it for the outside or doing it for to impress, to receive money to impress. Or, receiving money to impress or for the outside is the same thing. But what I meant to say is that, doing it for the outside or doing it to impress, or doing it because that's what we've been taught that we're supposed to do. And unfortunately, that is something that we've had to do previously. But we don't have to do that anymore. If you are always in a scarcity mindset, if you always in the mindset of not having enough, if you always in the mindset that you have to, then that would be a reality. Again, if you believe that you have to, if you believe that you have to be working hard day and night, missing out on family, missing out on friends, if you feel like you have to, that'll be a reality. But that's not the truth. Like I said, it's not going to be a cakewalk when you are in alignment. I'm not necessarily saying it's going to be a cakewalk. That's why I said you have to be a hard worker. What's the difference of being a hard worker and something that you're aligned with versus being a hard worker and something that you're not aligned with? You get burnt out quicker when you're doing something that you're not aligned with. You lose your soul, you lose your spirit, you lose your pep in your step, you lose your happiness. The more you put in, the more you don't get out. And I know a lot of people gonna say, yeah, the more you put in, the more you do get out. Yeah, you do, technically, on a 3D level. The more you put in, the more you get out. When we talk about money, yeah, but that's about it. You lose energy, you lose your pizzazz, you lose time with your family, you lose, foresight on what could really bring you what you really want in life easier. You lose your freedom. So to me, you lose more than what you gain when you're in this hustle, 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 hustle. We gotta stop that. It don't benefit us none. That's why I preach proper alignment. Because when you're in proper alignment, now you're setting your life up to not have to do that. But when you're working hard doing things like selling dope, risking your life, you're not in proper alignment. Now you're losing your life. Because that's working hard. Because how's that proper alignment? I said the analogy with Kobe, right? Kobe was a hard worker, but he wasn't working hard. He woke up in excitement every day. Why? Because he got to do something that he loved to do. And I know before people say, well, that's Kobe. Kobe got to do what he wanted to do. You know why? Because as a kid, that's what he was allowed to focus on. And that's why I preach to young men. Align yourself with something that you like to do. Align with something that excites you. Even young women, the same thing. This goes for everybody. Align yourself with something that you like to do, something that excites you as a child, as young as possible, and focus on that. Become a master at it. Become a hard worker at that. And when you're working hard at that, it's not that it's taking anything out of you. It's pouring more back into you because now you're recognizing the God self in you. You're recognizing your purpose. You are now in alignment. You're receiving more energy. The more that you put in is the more that you're getting out. For yourself. You're not losing energy, you're gaining energy. This is all reciprocal. This is what happens when you're in proper alignment. So now you can go hard at that. Every day you can go hard, go hard, go hard. All you want. Because now the more that you put in is the more that you're going to get out. The more that Kobe goes to the gym, wakes up every morning at 4:30, 5 o'clock and go to the gym and put up them shots before anybody else. The more that he's a hard worker at that, it's the more he's going to get out. But the more that you at your job that don't benefit you, that's not in proper alignment with you, the more that you at that job or doing these hustle things, the hustle, 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 the more that you feel like you're going to put in, it's the more that you're not going to get out. That's not the more that you're going to get out, like I said, financially, yeah, but that's about it. And even if it's financial, because a lot of times you run in circles. This for the hustlers. This for the people who in that grind culture. This people who feel like I said, you got to work 9 to 5 to 5 to 9. And like I said, this is for the people who feel like they have to. If you're in a position right now because you have to support people, you got a family, you got kids and something like that, right now you got to do what you got to do. But let this sink into your mind. Let this marinate in your mind before you start working super hard. Just start trying to allow your mind to open up to new ways and new things for you to be a hard worker at something that you're properly aligned with. You know, everybody takes the mama mentality or the Kobe mentality, you know, when they at work, but you're not properly aligned, so it don't work out like that. It don't work out the way you know you think it's supposed to work out. This don't mean do a half-ass job at something that you're doing, you know, while you're on the hustle. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is that if you feel like you have to bust your ass every day, you're not in alignment. And like I said, this is why so many of us get robbed of our youth. So many of us get robbed of our energy, of our happiness, of our joy, and we pass it down to the youth. We pass it down to the next one. Like I say, take a step back and look at the white community. Take a step back. Just take a step back and look at them. Their kids don't be no hard workers. They work hard, but they don't be no hard workers. I said, bring your whole mind because I'm trying to show you an example. They don't be no, you know, working hard, working 4-5 jobs. They sit at the house and do that one thing that they like to do. They may go hard at it. They may work hard at it. But they're not no, you know, working this and doing this survival mode. They poured all their eggs into that one basket. That basket of freedom, that basket of happiness. See, a lot of times when we say, don't put all your eggs in one basket, we thinking on a super small level. We thinking about, you know, don't put all your eggs in the basket of, you know, making it to the NBA or being a rapper or being this or being that. That's too small. That's too small-minded thinking. We have to expand that to don't put all your eggs in one basket of you having to work all day and night. How about you put all your eggs in one basket of being free and work towards that? Put all your eggs in that one basket, you know, of being in proper alignment. And now when you free, you're putting your eggs in that basket of being free and putting your eggs in that basket of having proper alignment. Now you are on the path of being able to be a hard worker and to bring in the things that you really want to bring in. Now you're on the path of doing opposite of, you know, hustle culture. And that even though that one thing that you may pick right now that excites you is going to change, it might change. You still on that path of being free. I said we've been so caught up to forget that you can be free too. That's why we don't have no excitement no more. Like, yeah, they took the chains off of us. Yeah, they took the shackles off of us. That was physically, but mentally, it's still there. Because we still living in that old thought and habits that we got to, you know, sell our soul. Got to work, 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 work. Like I say, it's fun to do that. You know, that hustle and grind. If you are in proper alignment, it's fun. Because you're getting something out of it. But when you're not in proper alignment, it's not going to do you any service. It's not going to do you any good. It's going to harm you more than it helps you. And I say, take a step back. Look at rappers. Look at athletes. Look at all these people. That could be you too. I'm not saying in the avenue of being an entertainer or a sports player or anything of that sort. I'm not saying that. But when I say is when you are in proper alignment, the universe will open up doors. When you are in proper alignment, all you have to do is just be, you know, just work, just be a hard worker. That's it. That's it. And the more that you put in is the more that you're gonna get out. When you're in proper alignment. But if you're not in proper alignment, the more that you put in is not gonna be the more that you get out. You're gonna lose more than you gain. I promise you that. I 100% promise you that. Anyways, this your favorite cousin Rich. Let me know what y'all think about that. Y'all be safe out there. Love and blessings.